Hi guys, welcome back to Minium Stories. Today we're diving into a set that's as iconic as it is mysterious. The Fantasy Sherlock Holmes Baker Street 221B apartment. This set is packed with Victorian charm, hidden Easter eggs, and some of the coolest minifigures I've seen in a while. Seriously, these figures move in ways that would make a gymnast jealous. We've got an insanely detailed modular build, a gorgeous stagecoach, and yes, even Speedy's Cafe. Because even the world's greatest detective needs a good cup of tea. So, grab your magnifying glass, put on your Deerstalker hat, and let's investigate every detail of this masterpiece. Now, let's talk about the box, because first impressions matter, right? And let me tell you, Fantasy did not disappoint. The front of the box immediately sets the tone Victorian elegance, a cozy London vibe. It's like the box is whispering, "Elementary, my dear builder, you're in for a treat." On one side, we can see the reference to GoBricks, and that we have printed pieces. Yes, we have more than 60 printed pieces. Flipping it to the back, you'll see a breakdown of the different floors and interior spaces, giving you a sneak peek at the intricate details. And now, the moment of truth, opening the box. Inside, we have numbered bags. Thank you, Fantasy, for not making us dig through 3,000 loose pieces like a detective searching for clues, an instruction manual that actually feels premium, and a sticker sheet, which, well, we'll talk about later. All right, now let's talk about the heart of any good build, the instruction manual. I mean, who doesn't love a good manual, right? If you're anything like me, you've probably flipped through a few interesting ones that were as confusing as assembling furniture with your eyes closed. But not this one. Fantasy has clearly thought about the whole process, and they've made sure that even the most confusing parts of this build are easy to follow. The manual is well organized, with clear steps that keep you on track. Each step is nicely broken down, so you're not left staring at a pile of pieces wondering if you've missed a crucial part. We've all been there. Plus, there are some quirky details in the instructions that make you smile, like when they sneak in little Sherlock Holmes-related references or hints about the set's history. It's like the manual is having a little chat with you as you go along, making the whole experience feel less like work and more like a mystery you're solving, brick by brick. Who knew building could feel like a Sherlock case? Now, on a side note, some of you might be asking, but what about the stickers? Don't worry, those make an appearance too. They're easy to place, and there are only a few, because we have many, many printed pieces. As you've seen, the manual is divided into two parts, and at the end of the second part, you'll find more Fantasy sets to explore. If something caught your eye, check the links in the description. Shopping through those helps the channel out, and hey, liking and subscribing doesn't hurt either. So, if you haven't already done so, please do. Thank you in advance. All right, let's dive right into bag one. The first step is pretty straightforward, setting up the base for the building and laying down a solid ground floor. And we have already a fun little surprise, an hidden compartment where you'll notice a treasure chest referencing the sign of 4, one of Sherlock Holmes' adventures. Also, we're already seeing some printed pieces along the stairwell, adding some cool details. Moving on to bag 2, we start with a hanger, and yes, it holds a hat. Because what's Sherlock Holmes without his iconic headgear? Then we continue building the walls, adding some more structure to the set. You'll also notice the door with the printed number, 221B, of course. Another neat touch is a painting on a printed tile, really adding to the atmosphere. Finally, we lay down the cafe floor, setting the stage for the cozy space downstairs. Bags 3 takes us deeper into the cafe, starting with more printed bricks, like the menu tiles that add those little details. We also get to work with 2 stickers to create mirrors. Then, we start adding tables and chairs. After all, a cafe needs seating. A balcony is also in the mix, along with cups and even a coffee machine, to really bring the space to life. With the set of numbers 4 bags, we start sweetly with some delicious-looking sweets, perfect for any cafe. Then we add a few more pictures to decorate the walls. We wrap up this set of bags by completing the cafe facade, with windows in the door. With bags 5, we start adding some exterior details, like the lamp and the Baker Street sign. Then we work on some corbels for the apartment doors. More tables and chairs are added, along with a mailbox. We finish off this bags by adding the iconic Sherlock Holmes sign to the front of the cafe, which, by the way, is one of the few stickers in the build. With bag 6, we move up to the second floor. More walls go up, along with a few more paintings decorating the staircase. Then, we get to the kitchen, where Holmes conducts his chemistry experiments. And for an extra touch, we even get a printed piece featuring a skeleton. This laboratory is where Sherlock conducted his various experiments related to his detective work. Bags 8 take us into the living room. There's a newspaper casually left on the floor, very on brand for a detective deep in thought. The fireplace is a real highlight, featuring envelopes pinned down by a dagger, cases waiting for Holmes to solve. Bags number 9 continue to bring the living room to life with more classic details. There's a printed map of Britain from the Victorian era. We also get a magazine featuring Sherlock on the cover, a fun little nod to his fame. Then comes the centerpiece, the iconic sofa setup where Holmes and Watson sit face to face. The green seat for Holmes, the red for Watson. And of course, no detective's lounge would be complete without Holmes's favorite chess set. Bags in 10. A small aside. Fantasy packs all transparent pieces separately to keep them scratch-free. A thoughtful touch. Moving on with these bags, we finish up the facade of the floor, adding the final architectural details. And to top it all off, we have a reindeer head mounted on the wall. Because what's a detective's home without a bit of eccentric decor? Bag number 11 takes us up another floor, this time into the private rooms of Holmes and Watson. Right away, we're greeted by the portrait of Sir Henry, the client from The Hound of the Baskervilles. And speaking of that case, there's also a hound head ornament, a fitting tribute to the legendary mystery. Look, hidden in Watson's bed, we have a letter. Perhaps a secret message or just another clue waiting to be uncovered. This time, we have a photograph of Watson and Morstan, a nod to their meeting during the case of the Sign of the Four. On the other side, a few more printed pieces decorate the wall. In Holmes's room, we find a small bookcase packed with books and a desk filled with various objects. The space is brimming with details that capture his character, from his investigative work to his eccentric habits. We also have his violin, a must-have for any true Holmes setup. And to finish off this set of bags, we have pictures of Mycroft Holmes and that woman, Irene Adler. The final set of bags completes the roof structure, giving the building its finished look. It features a sloped design with textured tiles to mimic classic Victorian architecture. There's also a chimney, because what's 221 B Baker Street without a proper chimney for Holmes to ponder by? The detailing continues with a few more architectural flourishes, ensuring the building looks just as impressive from above as it does from the front. And now, the final bags. A horse-drawn carriage. Great and sturdy build. And with that, we've completed the set. A fitting final touch to this detective's masterpiece. Before we recap and review the whole set, let's talk about the minifigures. Assembling the minifigures is straightforward but satisfying. Each character comes in separate pieces, so you get to put together their iconic looks. These minifigures, as I mentioned at the beginning, have some really cool features. The joints are impressive. You get way more movement than with standard Lego figures. It gives them a bit more life and flexibility, which I really like. It makes posing them in scenes much more fun. Cool, isn't it? What do you think? Let me know your opinion in the comments. This set includes 5 minifigures, each bringing a touch of classic detective intrigue to the build. First up, we have Jefferson Hope, the murderer from A Study in Scarlet. Not the friendliest guy in the lineup, but certainly an important piece of Sherlock's first big case. Next is Inspector Lestrade, the Scotland Yard detective who, let's be honest, would probably be lost without Holmes. He tries his best, but when things get tricky, he knows exactly who to call. Then there's Mrs. Hudson, the landlady of 221B Baker Street. She puts up with all of Sherlock's quirks and Watson's adventures, and yet she still keeps the place running. A true legend. Speaking of legends, we have Dr. John H. Watson, Sherlock's loyal friend, medical expert, and the guy who writes it all down. Without him, we wouldn't have these incredible stories. And finally, the star of the show, Sherlock Holmes, master detective, violin enthusiast, and the only one who can piece it all together before the tea gets cold. And so we have 5 classic characters ready to bring the world of Baker Street to life. Now, let's take a full look at the set, starting with the front. From the outside, it's exactly what you'd expect from 221B Baker Street, a classic London building with all the charm and mystery you'd hope for. But of course, the real fun is inside, and it's very easy to access the interior. Removing the roof, we dive straight into Sherlock's room, and wow, does it have personality. First, let's talk about printed pieces. This set has over 60 pad-printed elements, and a good chunk of them are right here. On the other wall, next to the windows, we have the clue wall filled with critical details. Spot anything interesting? Oh yes, we have photos of Mycroft Holmes, Sherlock's even smarter but less motivated brother, and Irene Adler, or as Sherlock calls her, that woman, the one person who truly managed to outsmart him. Yes, we also have a book with a portrait of Holmes and the Big Ben next to a typewriter. And of course, what's Sherlock without his violin? It's right here, ready for him to play, whether it's to help him think or just to annoy Watson. Now, let's head over to Watson's room. A bit tidier, a bit calmer, definitely less violin playing at odd hours. Here, we have a framed picture of Watson and Miss Morstan. If you don't know, they met during the Sign of Four, a case that involved hidden treasure, betrayal, and, well, romance. Clearly, it worked out well enough for Watson to keep a sentimental reminder. But wait, there's more. In the stairwell, we have a portrait of Sir Henry, the client from The Hound of the Baskervilles, and just in case you needed another eerie reminder of that case, there's also a hound head ornament, also a tribute to the terrifying legend of this novel. Safe to say, this staircase holds some serious history. Another floor, and let's step into the living room, where countless mysteries have been unraveled over tea and biscuits. This is the heart of 221B Baker Street, where Holmes and Watson spend their time discussing cases, debating deductions, and occasionally, just occasionally, relaxing. We have a fireplace with some envelopes pinned down by a dagger. These are the cases Holmes has to be dealt with. Then, we have the armchairs strategically placed so that Holmes and Watson can stare at each other dramatically while solving cases. A true detective's brainstorming setup. On this wall, we have VR shot into the wall. If you're wondering, yes, this is a reference to The Adventure of the Musgrave Ritual, where Holmes, in a moment of boredom, decided to practice his marksmanship indoors. Probably not the best idea, but hey, he's Sherlock Holmes. Now, next to this area, we have Sherlock Holmes' laboratory, the place where science meets deduction, and probably where some very questionable experiments took place. This is where Holmes conducts his chemical analyses, testing clues and substances that might crack the case wide open. And yes, that means Watson probably had to endure the occasional strange smell or minor explosion. On the workbench, we have bottles and flasks filled with unknown and possibly hazardous substances. Holmes was known for his expertise in chemistry, which he often used to identify poisons, inks, or even trace amounts of tobacco left at a crime scene. Then there's the microscope, an essential tool for examining fibers, fingerprints, or other microscopic evidence. This little workspace is packed with character and reinforces the idea that Sherlock Holmes wasn't just a detective. He was a scientist, always pushing the boundaries of forensic investigation. And now the ground floor where the mysteries pause for a cup of tea. Here we have a charming cafe, the perfect spot for Sherlock and Watson to grab a bite between cases. Though let's be honest, Sherlock probably just drinks coffee while staring at people, deducing their life stories. The cafe has a cozy setup with neatly arranged tables, chairs, and a counter filled with goodies. There are printed menus and signs, adding a touch of realism to the space. It's a great little detail that makes the set feel more alive. To the side, we have the stairwell, which leads to the detective's quarters. It's a warm, welcoming ground floor. Just don't expect Sherlock to hang out here for long. He's got crimes to solve. Ah, time for a hidden surprise. Behind a secret spot, we find a hidden chest, a direct reference to the sign of 4. But, plot twist, the chest is empty. Why? Well, in the story, the treasure it once held was thrown into the Thames by Small during a dramatic chase. So, just like in the book, no jewels, no gold, just an empty chest and a whole lot of mystery. All right, time to wrap things up. So, what do we think of this fantasy Sherlock Holmes 221B Baker Street set? Honestly, it's a fantastic love letter to the world of Sherlock Holmes. From the detailed interiors to the insane amount of printed tiles, over 60. Every corner of this set oozes charm and feels like stepping into the pages of Conan Doyle's stories. The minifigures are solid, representing key characters with well-thought-out details. The build experience? Surprisingly fun. There are a lot of clever references, like the violin, the clue wall, and even that empty chest from the Sign of 4. And while the modular design makes it easy to explore, I do wish some of the smaller details were easier to access without taking things apart. And we can't forget the horse-drawn carriage. This little gem is a perfect nod to the Victorian era. The horse pairs beautifully with the intricately designed carriage, very sturdy for such a little build. It's a great finishing touch to this set. So, is this set worth it? If you're a Sherlock Holmes fan, absolutely. It's packed with Easter eggs, storytelling, and nostalgia. As a display piece, it looks fantastic, and as a playset, well, let's just say there are enough hidden details to make you feel like a detective yourself. Final verdict? Elementary, my dear viewer. It's a brilliant set. And that wraps up our review. I hope you enjoyed seeing all the details and the unique features this set has to offer. If you liked the video, don't forget to hit that like button. And if you want to see more content like this, be sure to subscribe and turn on the notification bell so you don't miss any future reviews. Also, let me know your thoughts in the comments. What's your favorite part of this set? Do you have any questions or suggestions for future videos? I love hearing from you all. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you next time.